Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell y'all something. Everybody in here has a moment that defines you, a moment that makes you or breaks you, a moment where you either stay the same or you rise to a whole new level. Now let me take you back to the moment that changed my life forever. I was a young man, broke, struggling, didn't know where my next meal was coming from. I was working odd jobs, trying to survive. I had a dream though, a dream to be on television, to make people laugh, to use the gift God gave me. But dreams don't come easy, y'all. One day I hit rock bottom. I mean the bottom. I was living out of my car. I had $35 to my name. My friends stopped calling. My family thought I lost my mind. And truth be told, I thought maybe they were right. But then the phone rang. It was a comedy club. They said, "Steve, we got a spot for you this Sunday night if you can make it." Problem was, the show was in New York and I was in Florida. I ain't had no money for gas, no food, no nothing. Now right there, that was the crossroads of my life. Do I play it safe? Do I say, sorry, I can't make it? Or do I take a leap of faith? I made a decision. I took every dollar I had, filled my tank, and drove all the way to New York. Hungry, tired, scared, but full of hope. That night, I walked on that stage and something happened. When the crowd laughed, when they stood up, when they clapped, I knew I had found my calling. That was the moment. The moment I realized this is it. This is what I was born to do. From that night forward, I never looked back. Now let me tell you why that moment matters. Not just for me, but for you too. Your gift will make room for you. You may not see it right now, but God put something in you that nobody else has. When you tap into it, doors will open. Every breakthrough starts with a leap of faith. If you wait until everything lines up perfectly, you'll never move. Sometimes you gotta jump and grow your wings on the way down. Pain is the pathway to purpose. Sleeping in that car was the lowest point of my life, but it was also the preparation ground for everything I have today. See, the moment that changed my life wasn't just about a phone call, it was about a decision. The decision to bet on myself. The decision to trust God even when I couldn't trace him. The decision to keep going when every voice told me to quit. And here's the truth. You're gonna have a moment too. Maybe you already had it. Maybe it's coming tomorrow. But when that moment comes, don't play small. Don't play scared. Step into it with courage. Because your whole life can shift in one moment. One choice, one act of faith. That's what happened to me. That's why I'm standing here today. And if God did it for me, a broke kid from Cleveland living in a car, he can do it for you too. So here's my challenge to you. Don't wait for perfect. Don't wait for approval. Don't wait for comfort. Step into your moment. Claim your gift. Take your leap. Because the moment that changed my life forever could be the very moment you decide to change yours. Listen to me, everybody in this room got a gift. I ain't talking about your job. I ain't talking about your title. I ain't talking about what school you went to. I'm talking about that thing God put inside of you before you was even born. That one thing that comes natural. You don't need training for it. You don't need a degree for it. It's just there. It's who you are. Now here stirs the problem. Most people die without ever opening that gift. They spend their whole life working on somebody else. Diets, dream, living paycheck to paycheck, never once reaching down inside themselves and saying, what did God put me here to do? I remember when I first started figuring out my gift, I didn't know it was comedy at first. I just knew every time I got around people, I was making them laugh. Teachers used to get mad at me because I'd be in the back of the class cracking jokes. My mama would say, boy, you play too much. But what I didn't understand then was that I wasn't just playing. That was my gift showing itself early. See, your gift will show up, whether you recognize it or not. But here's the key. You got to pay attention. If you ignore it, if you bury it, you'll spend your life frustrated, because you'll be working jobs that don't match your gift. And let me tell you something. Ain't nothing worse than waking up every day, going to a job you can't stand, when deep down you know God made you for something else. I'll never forget the day I read that scripture that said, your gift will make room for you and put you in the presence of great men. Man, that lit a fire in me, because I realized, hold up now, if God gave me this gift of making people laugh, then he must have also created a stage big enough for me to use it. I didn't know how, I didn't know when, but I knew I had to chase it. And let me tell you, when you start operating in your gift, things start lining up. Now, don't get me wrong, it don't happen overnight. You still gonna struggle, you still gonna cry, you still gonna go through some valleys. But the difference is, when you working in your gift, even the struggle feels different. You might be broke, but you ain't broken. You might be tired, but you ain't quitting. Because deep down, you know you walking in your purpose. Let me be real with y'all. I ain't supposed to be here today. I come from Cleveland, Ohio. Grew up with nothing. Slept in my car. Had people tell me I wasn't gonna make it. But here I am. Why? Because my gift made room for me. I trusted that gift. I took care of that gift. And I used it even when I didn't have nothing else. Some of y'all sitting here right now, you got a gift, but you scared to use it. You scared of what people gonna say. You scared of failing. You scared that it ain't big enough. Let me help you with this. God don't give small gifts. If he gave it to you, it's got power. If he gave it to you, it's meant to bless not only you, but other people. But here's the catch. You gotta put it to work. Don't just sit on it. Don't just dream about it. Don't just talk about it. Work it. Grind it, sharpen it. You can't expect your gift to blow up if you keep it locked up. And when you do that, when you lean into your gift, when you use it faithfully, when you stop worrying about what everybody else think, that gift gonna make room for you. It'll open doors you couldn't open on your own. It'll connect you with people you never imagined meeting. It'll take you places you never thought you'd go. I'm living proof. My gift took me from the back of a classroom, making jokes for free, to the biggest stages in the world. That's what God does when you stop fighting your gift and start walking in it. So I'm gonna say this to you right now. Find your gift, respect it, protect it, use it, because one day that gift, your gift, is what's gonna change your whole life. Let me tell you something, man. Everybody in this world gonna hit rock bottom at some point. I don't care who you are, how much money you got, how smart you think you is. Life got a way of knocking you flat on your back. Now, most people think rock bottom means it's over. They think when they hit the lowest point, that's the end of the story. But let me tell you the truth. Rock bottom ain't the end. Rock bottom is the beginning. See, when you hit that low place, that's where you really find out who you are. That's when you discover what you're made of. Because it's easy to smile when the bill's paid, when the fridge full, when everybody clapping for you. That ain't no test. The real test is when you don't know how you gonna make it. When the lights cut off, when people walk out on you, when the only person you can depend on is God. That's where character gets built. Now, I done been there. I done seen rock bottom. Matter of fact, I lived in it. I told y'all before, I was homeless, living out of my car for 3 years. 3 years, man. I wasn't living no dream. I wasn't no TV star. I was broke, stinking, embarrassed, trying to figure out if I even had a future. And you know what? At that time, I thought maybe God forgot about me. I thought maybe my dream was too big. But I found out something in that season. What I found out is this: God don't let you hit rock bottom to destroy you. He lets you hit it to rebuild you. That's where he strips away your pride, your excuses, your comfort zone. That's where he makes you depend on him instead of depending on yourself. See, when you're at the bottom, the only direction you can go is up. Let me put it this way. If you ever been flat on your back, you realize something. You can look up, and if you can look up, you can get up. And if you can get up, you can keep going. That's what rock bottom taught me. Here's the other thing. Rock bottom gives you gratitude. Let me explain. When you done slept in a car, man, a cheap motel feel like a 5-star resort. When you done ate crackers for dinner, a burger feel like a feast. When you done been laughed at, overlooked, rejected, man, one yes feels like heaven. Rock bottom teaches you to appreciate what most people take for granted. Now, I know some of y'all right now, you in your own rock bottom. Maybe it ain't money, maybe it's your marriage, maybe it's your health, maybe it's your self-esteem. You think it's over, but I'm here to tell you it ain't over. This ain't the end of your story. Matter of fact, this might be the chapter that turns the whole book around. Because let me remind you, when I was at my lowest, that's when the opportunity showed up that changed my life forever. If I hadn't gone through that storm, if I hadn't been humble, if I hadn't been desperate enough to try, man, I wouldn't be here talking to y'all today. See, you got to shift your mindset. Stop saying I'm stuck. Start saying I'm being set up. Stop saying this is the end. Start saying this is the beginning. Your rock bottom ain't proof that God left you. It's proof that he's about to do something new in your life. So don't sit, curse your rock bottom. Don't sit wasted crying about it. Learn from it. Grow from it. Use it as fuel. Because one day you gonna sit, look back and say, man, if I never went through that, I wouldn't ever be who I am today. That's what happened to me. Rock bottom was the best thing that ever happened in my life because it broke me down, but it also built me up, and it can do the same for you. Now, let me tell you something, man. Faith is powerful. Everybody talk about faith. Folks love to say, I got faith, but here's the part most people miss. Faith by itself don't do nothing if you don't move. See, faith requires action. You can't just sit there wishing, hoping, praying, and never take a step. You got to put some motion behind that belief. I'll never forget the time I first learned that lesson for real. I was broke, trying to make it as a comedian. And I remember praying to God saying, Lord, open up a door for me. And I expected him to just drop it in my lap. But that ain't how God works. See, prayer without movement is just talk. God said, I'll bless it if you move. But I can't bless nothing you ain't doing. That's why I tell people all the time, you can't sit in your house waiting on opportunity to knock if you never built the door. You got to get up, put in the work, and position yourself for the blessing. One day I got a call from a comedy club in New York. They told me, Steve, we got a spot for you, but you got to get here. Now, at the time, I was in Florida. I ain't had no money. I ain't had no food. I barely had gas. My first thought was, well, I can't do it. But then I remembered something. Faith is stepping out on nothing and trusting God to turn it into something. So I took the little bit I had, filled up the car, and started driving. Now here's the wild part. If I'd stayed in Florida saying, I got faith, I believe, but never moved, nothing would have happened. That opportunity would have passed me by. But because I acted, because I trusted, because I was willing to take that crazy leap, I ended up on stage in New York that night. And that was one of the nights that changed my career. See what I'm saying? Faith ain't passive, it's active. Faith is that voice that says, jump, even when the parachute ain't packed yet. Faith is applying for the job when you ain't qualified. Faith is starting the business when you don't have the money. Faith is saying yes when fear is screaming no. Some of y'all been praying for something for years, but you ain't moved an inch toward it. You keep asking God to bless you with a new job, but you ain't even updated your resume. You asking God for a new relationship, but you ain't healed from the last one. You asking him to bless your finances, but you ain't even learning how to manage the little bit you got. Listen, faith requires action. Let me break it down like this. Imagine you praying for God to let you win the lottery, but you never bought a ticket. Come on now. You got to meet him halfway. You got to show him you serious. Faith is like planting a seed. You can pray over the dirt all you want, but if you never put the seed in the ground, ain't nothing growing. I know it's scary. I know it's uncomfortable. But every big thing I ever did in my life, I did scared. I didn't have all the answers. I didn't have all the money, but I had faith, and I had enough courage to act on that faith. That's the difference maker right there. So here's what I want you to understand. Stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting until you got it all figured out. Stop waiting for everybody to approve. If God put that dream in your heart, it's already yours. You just got to move toward it. And when you do, when you step out, when you act on that faith, that's when God starts multiplying. That's when doors swing open. That's when things line up that you couldn't make happen on your own. Faith is the belief. Action is the proof. And when you put them together, that's when miracles happen. Let me be real with y'all right now. Ain't nobody in here likes pain. Nobody wakes up and says, Lord, send me some struggle today. We don't ask for it. We don't want it. But here's what I learned the hard way. Pain is necessary. Matter of fact, pain is preparation. Pain is what God uses to get you ready for the purpose He designed you for. See, we all pray for the blessing. We all want success. We all want that dream life. But most folks don't realize that before the blessing, there's a breaking. Before the testimony, there's a test. Before the reward, there's some real pain. I'll never forget my season of pain. Sleeping in my car, eating bologna sandwiches every day, trying to hold back tears while smiling in front of people. Man, that was pain. I didn't understand why God was letting me go through it. I used to pray, Lord, if you really gave me this dream, why you letting me suffer like this? But years later, I realized if I hadn't gone through that season, I wouldn't be the man I am today. That pain humbled me. It made me work harder. It made me depend on God in a way I never had before. It taught me discipline. It gave me gratitude. And it gave me a testimony that I could stand up here and share with y'all today. See, people don't get inspired by your comfort. They get inspired by your scars. Think about it. When you hit the gym, how do your muscles grow? Not from comfort. They grow because you put them under stress, under weight, under resistance. That's what builds strength. And life works the same way. You don't build character sipping margaritas on the beach. You build it when you're crying yourself to sleep, but still getting up the next morning. You build it when everything in you wants to quit, but you keep pushing anyway. That's why I tell people all the time, don't curse the pain. Don't waste it. Don't let it make you bitter. Let it make you bitter, because pain is the tool God uses to shape you for your destiny. See, here's the thing. You might think the pain is punishment, but really it's preparation. When I look back, every painful moment in my life was a stepping stone. When my first marriages failed, that pain taught me how to be a better man, a better husband. When I was broke, that pain taught me how to respect money when I finally got it. When doors closed in my face, that pain taught me resilience so that when the right door opened, I was ready to walk through it. Now, I know what some of y'all are thinking. You're saying, Steve, I hear you, but you don't know my pain. You don't know what I'm going through. And you're right. I may not know your exact situation, but I do know this. God wastes nothing, not even your pain. He will take that hurt, that disappointment, that betrayal, and He will use it to mold you into somebody stronger, wiser, and more powerful than you ever imagined. So instead of asking, why me, start asking, what is this teaching me? Instead of crying, Lord, when will this be over? Start saying, Lord, prepare me for what's coming next. Because let me tell you, if the pain is big, then the purpose is even bigger. I'm standing here today because of the pain I survived. And I promise you, one day you're going to look back and realize that the very thing that tried to break you was actually the thing that built you. So hear me when I say this. Don't run from the pain. Walk through it, endure it, grow from it. Because that pain is not your ending. It's the preparation for the purpose God created you to fulfill. Listen to me, man. Life is made up of decision. Every single day you wake up, you making choices. Some little, some big. What you eat, where you go, who you talk to, that's all decisions. But every now and then, life gon' hit you with one of those crossroads moments. One of those choices that got the power to change your whole future. And let me tell you, it only takes one. One decision can change your entire life. I think back to when I was broke living in my car. I ain't had no hope. I was at the end of my rope. Then I got that phone call from the comedy club in New York. They said, "Steve, we got a spot for you Sunday night." Now I was in Florida. I ain't had the money, I ain't had the means, and everything in me wanted to say, "Sorry, I can't make it." But something in my spirit said, "This is the moment." So I had to make a choice. Stay comfortable in my struggle or take a chance on my dream. I took the little $35 I had, filled up the gas tank, and started driving. Now hear me, it wasn't easy. I was hungry, I was scared, I didn't know what was waiting for me when I got there. But that one decision, just one, shifted the entire trajectory of my life. See, that's how destiny works. It don't always come with fireworks. It don't always look obvious. Sometimes it shows up in the form of a risky choice, a crazy opportunity, a chance that don't make sense on paper. And most people miss it because they scared to decide. Let me tell you something. Indecision is the killer of destiny. You can pray all day, but if you don't decide, you'll stay stuck. Some of y'all been standing at the crossroads for years. You got a dream, but you won't pull the trigger. You got talent, but you won't put yourself out there. You got an opportunity, but you keep waiting for the perfect time. Let me help you. The perfect time don't exist. You gotta decide. I done seen this play out in my own life over and over again. The day I decided to audition for Showtime at the Apollo, man, that was another decision that changed everything. I was terrified. I knew they booed people off that stage, but I made the choice to go. And when I walked out there and got that standing ovation, my whole career took off. Now let me tell you the flip side. I also made some bad decisions in my life. I stayed in the wrong relationships too long. I trusted people I shouldn't have. I spent money I didn't have, and those decisions cost me. But here's what I learned. Even the bad decisions taught me something. They grew me. They prepared me. But the ones that propelled me forward, the ones that made me who I am today, those were the decisions where I bet on myself and trusted God. So what am I saying? I'm saying stop being scared to choose. Stop letting fear hold the pen to your story. Your breakthrough ain't hiding behind comfort. It's hiding behind a decision. And I promise you, when you make the right one, when you choose courage over fear, when you step out, even though you're shaking, that's when your whole life can shift in a single moment. One yes can take you from overlooked to overbooked. One yes can take you from broke to blessed. One yes can take you from the backseat of a car to the stage of your dreams. I'm living proof. All it took was one decision. And now I'm here to tell you, your one decision is waiting on you too. Don't miss it. Don't delay it. Don't talk yourself out of it. Make the choice, because one decision can change your entire life. Fear's a funny thing, man. It whispers to you. It tells you lies. It says you ain't good enough. You gon' fail. People gon' laugh at you. You don't got what it takes. Fear's job is to keep you stuck. And let me tell you, if you let fear sit in the driver's seat, it'll rob you blind. It'll steal your dreams, your opportunities, and your destiny before you even get started. Now, I ain't gonna stand up here and act like I never felt fear. I done been scared more times than I can count. When I was about to step on the Apollo stage for the first time, I was trembling. My stomach was tight, my knees weak, my mind racing with every worst case scenario. I knew they booed folks off that stage, and I thought, Lord, please don't let me be one of them. But let me tell you something. I walked out there scared, but I walked anyway, and that decision changed everything. See, courage ain't the absence of fear. Courage is moving forward while you're scared. Everybody waiting to not feel fear, before they act. That's the trap. You gonna wait your whole life because fear never goes away. Fear shows up every time you're about to step into something bigger. Fear is the signal that you're on the edge of breakthrough. I remember when I got my first shot at hosting a TV show. Man, I was nervous. I ain't had no experience doing daytime television. Folks told me, Steve, you ain't polished enough. You don't fit the mold. Stick to stand-up. And for a moment, fear almost convinced me to say no. But then I thought about how many people never reach their calling because they keep letting fear talk them out of it. And I made a promise to myself, I ain't letting fear steal nothing from me no more. And guess what? That show led to another and another and another. Family Feud, my talk show, radio, all of that came because I decided I was going to do it scared. If I had let fear win, none of that would have happened. Here's such a thing, man. Fear only has the power you give it. It feeds on your hesitation. It grows when you sit still. But the moment you act, when you take that step, fear loses its grip. It shrinks. You realize, wait a minute, this ain't as bad as I thought. I can handle this. I'll put it this way. Fear is like a shadow. It looks big when you're running from it. But the second you turn around and face it, you realize it ain't got no real substance. It's just smoke and mirrors. Some of y'all right now, your moment is here. The opportunity already knocked. The dream already inside you. But fear been talking you out of it. Fear got you saying, what if I fail? What if they laugh? What if I'm not ready? Let me flip it for you. What if you succeed? What if they clap? What if this is the very thing that changes your whole life? Don't let fear rob you. Don't give it that power. Step into your moment. Even if your knees shaking, even if your voice trembling, even if you don't got it all figured out. Because the truth is, nobody who ever made it was fearless. They just decided not to let fear win. I'm living proof of that. I'm not special. I just made up my mind that fear wasn't going to control me anymore. And if I can do it, sleeping in a car, broke, scared, doubted, you can do it too. So when your moment comes, and it will come, don't you dare let fear rob you. Step into it. Claim it. Walk through the door, because on the other side of that fear is the life you've been praying for.